7 celebrities going down with Diddy. You won't believe the last 7. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, one of the biggest pop stars in the world. He skyrocketed to fame at just 13 years old, living every kid's dream. But what if I told you that his early years in the industry weren't as glamorous as they seemed? Because behind the flashy lifestyle and the mentorship of powerful industry figures, Bieber was introduced to a world that most people never get to see. And one of the most influential people in his early life? Sean Diddy Combs. And now, as shocking allegations against Diddy unfold, people are asking, what really happened during Bieber's time with him? And does Justin know secrets that could shake the industry to its core? In that clip, Diddy seems to be welcoming Bieber into his world. But when you really analyze the footage, something feels off. A 15-year-old Justin Bieber, new to fame, was suddenly being given unlimited access to one of the most powerful men in the music industry. It was every young artist's dream. But was there a darker side to this mentorship? Insiders claim that Bieber was invited to Diddy's most exclusive parties, luxury trips, and late-night events. And while on the surface, this looked like a billionaire rapper mentoring a young star, people now believe there was much more going on. Years later, Bieber has distanced himself from many of his early industry connections. And when it comes to Diddy, he rarely speaks about him anymore. But here's where things get strange. Bieber's behavior started changing dramatically in the years after his mentorship with Diddy. We saw public meltdowns, erratic behavior, and moments where he seemed desperate to escape Hollywood. And then, in a shocking twist, Bieber became deeply religious, surrounding himself with spiritual advisors. Some fans believe this wasn't just a personal choice. This was him trying to break away from something. Could Justin Bieber have seen things in Diddy's circle that made him want out? Could he have been exposed to the same high-powered Hollywood secrets that are now unraveling? And here's where it gets even crazier. Over the years, Diddy has mentored multiple young artists, many of whom later distanced themselves. Is this just a coincidence? Or is there a pattern? As more allegations against Diddy surface, many are wondering if Bieber will finally speak out. Because if he does, the truth could be bigger than anyone expected. 50 Cent. If there's one person in the music industry who has never been afraid to speak his mind, it's 50 Cent. The rap mogul, businessman, and TV producer has made a career out of calling people out. But when it comes to Diddy, 50's jokes and cryptic comments over the years suggest that he knows way more than he's letting on. And as the walls close in on Diddy's empire, some people believe 50 Cent has been trying to expose him for years, but nobody was paying attention. At first, this seemed like just another one of 50's classic trolling moments. But let's take a step back. For over a decade, 50 Cent has been dropping hints, warning people about Diddy's private lifestyle, the strange things happening behind closed doors, and the industry secrets that he says most artists are afraid to talk about. He's called Diddy out on Instagram, in interviews, and even during live events. But here's the crazy part. Every time he speaks about Diddy, he never directly says what he knows. So, what is 50 hiding? And is it possible that he knows the real reason behind Diddy's current legal troubles? Think about it. 50 Cent isn't just another rapper. He's a businessman. He understands how the industry works better than most. He's had public feuds, yes? But this is different, because unlike his usual beefs, where he drags people openly, his comments on Diddy always feel like he's saying, I know something, but I can't say it just yet. And now, with allegations piling up against Diddy, fans are starting to connect the dots. Could 50 Cent have been dropping warnings this whole time? Did he see things that made him walk away from certain industry circles? Or worse, does he know exactly how deep this scandal really goes? And here's where it gets even wilder. Just recently, after the legal investigations into Diddy started making headlines, 50 Cent went on Instagram again to mock him. But this time, it didn't feel like just a joke. It felt like a warning, like he was watching everything unfold exactly as he expected. So the question is, what does 50 Cent really know? And is there a reason he's not saying it outright? Because if anyone is going to blow the lid off this entire scandal, it just might be him. 5. Usher. Usher is one of the most successful R&B artists of all time. His smooth voice, legendary performances, and career longevity have solidified him as a music icon. But what most people don't know is that his rise to fame is directly tied to Diddy. And now, as the investigations into Diddy grow, people are asking an uncomfortable question. Was Usher simply an innocent young artist taken under Diddy's wing? Or was he exposed to something much darker? In the early 90s, Usher was just 14 years old when he was sent to live with Diddy in New York City. This wasn't just a normal artist development program. This was full access to Diddy's world. A teenage usher, new to the industry, was suddenly living in one of the most powerful music mogul's mansions, surrounded by celebrities, late-night parties, and an adult lifestyle that no 14-year-old should be exposed to. Usher himself has spoken about it in past interviews. But when you look closely at his words, they seem to hint at something bigger. That one sentence has haunted fans for years, because what exactly did he see? And why does he always laugh it off instead of answering directly? Insiders claim that Usher wasn't just watching from the sidelines. He was right in the middle of the wildest and most exclusive parties where secrecy was key, and where powerful industry figures were present. And now, as disturbing allegations against Diddy emerge, people are starting to connect the dots. If Usher witnessed something as a teenager, has he been holding on to that secret for years? Did he have to stay quiet to protect his career? And here's where it gets even more interesting. Usher has never publicly turned against Diddy. Unlike others who have distanced themselves, he's kept a respectful silence. But in Hollywood, silence can sometimes say more than words. Could it be fear, loyalty, or something deeper? Even after becoming a superstar, Usher continued working with Diddy, even performing at events connected to him. Was it just business, or was there an unspoken agreement to never speak on what happened behind closed doors? But here's the thing. When one person falls, the truth tends to come out. And if more names start getting implicated, will Usher finally reveal what he saw all those years ago? As investigators dig deeper, people are questioning whether Usher will be called to speak. Will he be forced to testify? Will new revelations put him in the spotlight? And most importantly, what did a 14-year-old Usher really see when he lived with Diddy? The answers might change everything. 4. Jay-Z. For decades, Jay-Z has built his image as one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. A billionaire, a mogul, a man who seemingly always makes the right moves. But behind the business empire and luxury lifestyle, there's a connection that's now raising serious questions. His longtime friendship and partnership with Sean Diddy Combs. As the investigations into Diddy grow, many are wondering, how deep does Jay-Z's involvement really go? And could his legacy be at risk if the truth comes out? Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. They didn't just share the same industry. They shared investments, parties, and powerful connections. They attended private gatherings that only the highest-level insiders could access. And here's where things get interesting. While many in the industry have spoken out against Diddy in recent months, Jay-Z has stayed completely silent. No statements, no denials, no distancing, just silence. But why? Could it be loyalty? Could it be that Jay-Z doesn't want to throw an old friend under the bus? Or is he staying quiet because he knows that if Diddy falls, he might not be far behind? Jay-Z has always played chess while others played checkers. He's known for making the smartest moves in the industry. But what if one of those moves was covering up or avoiding scandals linked to Diddy? Because here's what most people don't realize. Some of Diddy's most high-profile business moves were backed or supported by Jay-Z. They shared investments, collaborations, and industry power plays. And now, with Diddy facing potential legal trouble, financial investigations, and public scrutiny, Jay-Z's past dealings with him are being examined more closely than ever. Could there be documents, contracts, or agreements that tie Jay-Z to something he doesn't want the world to see? Jay-Z has always been known as a man who adapts. He cut ties with Kanye West when things got messy, distanced himself from certain figures when controversy struck. But what's surprising is that this time, he hasn't distanced himself from Diddy. Could it be because there's something he doesn't want to come out? Or is he simply waiting to see how much the public finds out before making his next move? Insiders say Jay-Z has been unusually private lately. He's avoiding direct public appearances with certain people. He's keeping things low-key. And if history has taught us anything about powerful figures in Hollywood, when they start laying low, it's usually because they know something big is coming. The question now is, will Jay-Z get dragged into the scandal, or will he escape untouched once again? The truth is, when one empire crumbles, it tends to take others with it. Jay-Z may have played the game better than most, but if Diddy's downfall reveals hidden connections, his legacy could be at risk too. And as more information comes to light, one thing is certain: Jay-Z's silence won't last forever. 3. Christian Combs. Being the son of a music mogul like Diddy comes with power, privilege, and secrets. Christian Combs grew up surrounded by the biggest names in the industry. He had front row seats to the glamorous lifestyle, private jets, luxury mansions, and VIP events that only a select few could attend. But now, with the walls closing in on his father, many are asking, did Christian know more than he let on? Christian has always idolized Diddy, following in his footsteps as a musician and public figure. But some insiders claim that he's been present at some of the very events now being investigated. While no direct allegations have surfaced against Christian yet, questions are swirling. How much did he see growing up in the inner circles of Hollywood's elite? Could he be forced to testify? And most importantly, will the investigation eventually reach him? The pressure is mounting. Christian has remained silent on the controversy surrounding his father. But with lawsuits piling up and investigators digging deeper, could he be forced to choose between protecting his father and saving himself? Many believe that Christian's silence isn't just about loyalty, it's about survival. If more information comes to light, could his life change forever? Or will he manage to escape the scandal untouched? 2. Will Smith. For decades, Will Smith has been Hollywood's golden boy, the fresh prince who made it big, the A-list actor with a spotless reputation. But beneath the surface, insiders whisper about a different side of Will, one that connects him to Diddy's infamous world of exclusive, high-profile parties. And with Diddy now under investigation, many are wondering, how much does Will really know? Will and Diddy's relationship goes way back. Years of attending the same events, moving in the same elite circles, and sharing powerful connections. But it's not just about industry friendship. Insiders have hinted at private gatherings, exclusive invite-only parties where only the most powerful and influential were allowed inside. These were the kinds of events where no phones were permitted, NDAs were signed, and what happened behind those doors was never meant to leave the room. And now, as investigations into Diddy's lifestyle ramp up, those very events are coming under scrutiny. The question is, was Will Smith just an innocent guest at these parties? Or was he more involved than anyone realized? Will has always been careful about his image, but in recent years, cracks have started to show. His infamous Oscars slap wasn't just a moment of rage. It was a sign that something was boiling beneath the surface. Could it be that he's been carrying a burden? Secrets from his time spent in these elite circles that are finally starting to catch up with him? Hollywood is a world built on silence. When one person falls, many others scramble to cover their tracks. And with Diddy's empire now crumbling, the fear among insiders is real. Who will be exposed next? And here's where things get even more suspicious. As more names get dragged into this controversy, Will Smith has remained unusually quiet. No public comments, no statements, just silence. We've seen this pattern before. When a celebrity stays silent in the middle of an industry-shaking scandal, it's often because they know they're being watched. Could Will be protecting himself, or is he simply waiting for the storm to pass? If more evidence surfaces, will Will Smith's name be forced into the conversation? Could he be called as a witness, or worse? Could his past connections come back to haunt him? The truth is, the walls are closing in on Hollywood's elite, and no one knows who will be next. But one thing is for certain, Will Smith's silence isn't just a coincidence. It's a strategy. And if history has taught us anything, silence never lasts forever. 1. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the biggest movie stars in the world. But while the public sees him as a charming Hollywood legend, behind the scenes, he's been spotted in circles that are now under intense scrutiny. For years, DiCaprio has attended private, exclusive parties, some of which were allegedly hosted by Diddy himself. The guest lists for these events? Powerful figures in music, business, and Hollywood's elite, many of whom are now facing serious allegations. What really happened at these gatherings? And more importantly, did DiCaprio know what was going on behind the scenes? Unlike many celebrities who get caught up in scandals, DiCaprio has a way of staying untouchable. But with new investigations sweeping through the industry, some are asking, will he be forced to distance himself? Or worse, could his name come up in ways he never expected? Right now, DiCaprio remains silent. But if more details emerge, could this be the scandal that finally reaches even Hollywood's most untouchable star? One thing is certain, this is far from over. Names are being exposed, careers are on the line, and the world is watching. The question is, who's next? Do you think more celebrities will be implicated? Or will Hollywood work to bury this story before the truth gets out?